It's a bird's nest. It's a pile of planes. It's Clark Kent's haircut. Greetings, fellow nostalgia warriors. My name is Joshua 2D, and welcome back to the basics. Oh man, has it been a wonderful week to be a Superman fan, with all of the set images releasing like a wildfire across the internet of Superman Legacy. Some ups, some downs, some good, some bad, but man, am I excited for Superman Legacy here in the dojo. And I want to talk about today something that's been rubbing a lot of people the wrong way, and that is the newly released images of Clark Kent. Yes, Clark Kent, our actor David, donning his actual suit as Clark Kent. And before we get into the meat and the potatoes of this video, which is his haircut, before we get into that, there is some really cool images that I wanted to go over. First and foremost, I wanted to talk about this new image from the Daily Planet newspaper. Superman fulfills a dream, written by Clark Kent. This is a Easter egg, or this is a moment stripped right out of the Superman All-Star comic book, where Superman takes a school bus of children with cancer, and flies them over the Egyptian pyramid. I think this is an amazing moment and awesome world building, as James Gunn himself has said that this movie is inspired heavily from Superman All-Star. Now, I recently picked up Superman All-Star. Got this beautiful, amazing hardcover. I've never experienced this story before. I've only read the first 2 issues in the past, and I was completely turned off by the artwork. I'll be 100% honest with you. But I'm not gonna make this whole video about this. I did just want to bring up Superman All-Star is because I have a theory about not only Superman Legacy, but about the suit, the haircut, everything you've seen that you may have been rubbed the wrong way with. I have a theory, and I've been speculating pretty hard, but I don't want to speculate too hard until I read the comic, until I watch the animated film, and then I'm gonna put my tinfoil hat on, and we're gonna be going over a crazy conspiracy. It's not even a conspiracy, it's just a theory. But yes, Superman All-Star is something that I cannot wait to experience soon enough. So be on the lookout for my theory video in the next couple weeks. Another really cool image is that of the Daily Planet van. You can see straight from the source, print, online, and mobile app. I think that's amazing, because in a world, in this modern Superman Metropolis, we got newspapers going for $8.50, right? That's the true villain of Superman Legacy, the economy. When a newspaper is $8.50, that's pretty wild. But to see the Daily Planet have a mobile app just kind of shows you the fleshed out aspect of the world building, bringing the golden age into the modern age. Another really cool world building aspect of what you could see on the set of Superman Legacy are some city signs. This one of the city of Metropolis, established 1645. Wonderful colors of the gold, the yellow, the red, and the blue. The city of tomorrow. And I love the fact how you can see that golden age cityscape, if you will, and you can see the Daily Planet, the globe on top of the building. So hopefully that lets me know, from what we've seen so far, the globe is only like kind of imprinted into the building, but to have that globe up on top is gonna make for an amazing scene. Another amazing world building sign in the city that I wanted to go over was this downtown district. Now this has a bit of history of Metropolis, and I'm gonna go ahead and read this because the world building is just phenomenal. So it's an image and it says Downtown District History. Metropolis was founded in 1634 by Dutch settlers. Prospering in trade for natural coastal harbor, the first settlement was by Dutchman Paul de Vries, being called de Vries Village, now known as Old City in Queensland Park. In 1783, the first Metropolitan Bank was opened by P. Randolph Jeffries, that which still exists today. The mid-1800s saw the Hobbs Bay area at the city grow as merchant center. The large influx of Irish immigrants during this time rose tensions with the second-generation citizens of Metropolis, leading to its well-known Hobbs Bay riots. Metropolis would prosper during the Industrial Revolution with the founding of the Steel Works. Today, Metropolis is known as the City of Tomorrow, a nickname adopted from our innovation and our hopes for the future. I think this is absolutely phenomenal, not only highlighting Hobbs Bay, which is a huge aspect of the Superman lore, but also the Steel Works. Please, 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 James Gunn, you know what we want. We need our man. We need the real Man of Steel, you know what I'm saying? Another really cool detail of some of the new images is Mr. Terrific seems to be playing with someone. He seems to be having some dog treats in his hand, which has led a lot of people to speculate that Krypto will be in this movie. Now, if you look at some of the images of the storefronts, and there's also an image of James Gunn looking at some of the production notes or the script, and they're in front of a pet store. You can see the dog prints on the window. Now, that's the theory. Is this Krypto, or is this maybe just some dogs that got let loose? Some animals that got let loose, and Mr. Terrific is, you know, kind of reining them in a way with some dog treats? I don't know. Is Krypto with them the whole time? We can only hope so. But are they rescuing Krypto from the pet store? What is Krypto doing in a pet store? In a random pet store in Metropolis? I don't know. I don't know what this movie is gonna hold, but is Krypto gonna be in it? I hope we get a wonderful scene of Mr. Terrific feeding and playing with Krypto. That would be phenomenal. And we have an amazing Supergirl Easter egg with this image of Comet Trailways that is plastered on the side of a Metropolis City bus, referencing Supergirl's steed named Comet. Some of us may know Mercy Graves, some of us Smallville fans may know Tess Mercer, but this is none other than Eva Tessmacher. And also with Lex Luthor's assistant, we did get a new image of the man himself, the villain of the story. We got an image of Lex Luthor, and I will say, when you look at him, he looks phenomenal. He looks like he's been beat up. Wonder by who? And when you look at the main trio of this film, when you look at Clark, Superman, when you look at Lois Lane and Lex Luthor side by side, they look phenomenal. Their on-screen appearance is yet to be seen, but man oh man, the visuals look phenomenal. James Gunn was also seen on the set of Metropolis in Superman Legacy, signing autographs for fans, and I loved how he wore a shirt that said "Heart Rats," which I'm sure is a callback to the rat catcher from his Suicide Squad film. Now it's time to talk about our main attraction of today's video, and that is Clark Kent's haircut. Now, as soon as this image came out, it had people just scratching their heads, throwing up the paper in the office, just like, I'm done, I'm out, what is this? First the baggy suit, you know, what is going on with this promotional image, these on-set images, but more or less, what is going on with Clark Kent's haircut? This is a complete 180, 360, whatever you want to call it, complete opposite of what we know as Clark Kent. Whether that's Tom Welling's portrayal in Smallville, Christopher Reeve's portrayal in his films, which is a very, very slicked down, combed, classic, golden age Clark Kent. Now, this Clark Kent in this film, at first I was like, yo, we can't judge this because this has to be Clark Kent on a bad day, right? There's video of him that I'm gonna leave in the link in the description of him walking through. You know, he's got his bag, he's got his press badge, he's got his coffee, and he's like getting through the busy, bustling streets of Metropolis to try to get into the Daily Planet. And I was just immediately coping, right? I was like, yo, this is Clark Kent, like, getting to work late, right? Because he has to play his character. And we all know Cal. The real character that Cal plays is Clark Kent. And so if you see Clark Kent, you know, not so prepared for work, spilling his coffee, bumbling around, knocking into people, trying to get into the door, right? We all expect this. But another level of that is maybe he showed up to work with messy hair. Now we know Kal-El can get ready in a moment's notice and be fully clothed, clothes ironed out, and slick haircut, and he could be going into the Daily Planet with a second's notice, right? But maybe this Clark Kent is appearing to show up late. Maybe he didn't comb his hair that day. Now, I was coping with all of these theories until I saw Clark Kent's Daily Planet press badge. And as you can see from this very blurry image, that Clark Kent wasn't just having a bad hair day on this day. No, that's just Clark Kent's hairstyle. It's kind of a front fro. Not a hairstylist. I don't know what it's called, but it looks like this like his hair is kind of pulled all the way to the front, and it's like this front fro. Very different, very odd for this take, but different isn't always bad. And so I'm interested to see how this is gonna come across on film. Like I said, I take all these set images with a grain of salt until I actually see it through the lens of the director, through the lens of the cinematographer, right? After post-production. You can't judge it until you see the final product. So I'm interested to see how this is all gonna work. But the side-by-side of the Clark Kent and the Superman does make it a lot more believable that Clark Kent could never be Superman, because the hairstylings are completely different. And so that is gonna make a interesting dynamic between Clark Kent and Superman. And the black and white image of Clark's hair, as you can see, they look like they're sitting in a press room or something inside the Daily Planet. And behind Clark, you can see all this memorabilia. You can see all this Superman merchandise, action figures, and whatnot. And that's really cool that the Daily Planet has adopted Superman. Has, you know, like there's Superman everywhere inside this office. And that's gotta be pretty interesting to see how Clark Kent is going to be handling that, as Superman is plastered all around and they're like, who is Superman? Who could be Superman? And then you see Clark Kent just sitting there with his front fro of a haircut. And I like that dynamic and I like that angle, and it's gonna be fun to see on screen. Well, this week has been a wonderful week for Superman fans. We have got so many images on set of Superman, Lex, Lois, Mr. Terrific, and even a small little video showing Nathan Fillion on set. He was covered up, but he was there. So will we see Guy Gardner? What do we see next week? Are we gonna see more images of the sets? Are they gonna be in public? I don't know. But what I do know is that I'm excited for Superman Legacy. And this has all just been my perspective, a nostalgic perspective. So friends, what do you think? Will Crypto be in the movie? What do you think of Lex Luthor? What do you think, most importantly, of Clark Kent's haircut? Does it break the immersion? Is it a complete disrespect to the entire franchise? Or is something new worth the wait? Well, we'll just have to wait till next year to find out. Until next time, friends, stay nostalgic on your eternal quest to get back to the basics.